Well, there it is, folks. Welcome. We're back. It's great to be back.
Back in the flesh, baby.
Stephen.
And look at the tooth on him, eh? I'm sick of looking at
I
that
can
post.
talk without being an idiot and
without sounding like this.
Did I sound that bad for 6 months?
Sometimes you did.
6 months of this rubbish sounded.
A few listeners contacted me on the quiet and said, listen, what the hell's going on? And I said, look, just put up with it. He's okay. He's got a fragile ego. Don't
That's
be
pretty much how
it.
you operate in life. Just put up with him. That's how Amanda gets by.
Just push through.
Just push through, right. Put up with it. We'll be right. She'll be apples.
Yep.
You know, it's great. I've got to be honest. I'm just
you're like a new man.
I'm so over having to put the friggin' tooth in.
Have you kept it, though?
Yeah, it's somewhere over there.
You hang it up on the wall or something?
Yeah, no, that feels weird.
Put it behind you somewhere here. Make it a souvenir, yeah. Do you reckon?
I think that'd be weird. Like super weird.
You're weird, so that's all good.
Oh,
mate.
so it fits. It fits. Anyway.
Yeah, I've got to put something up here. I've got to put something behind me.
Yeah, I think you've got to refresh too, I'll be honest with you.
It's a lovely picture that you got behind you. I need to put something up.
Yeah, I think you need to refresh the whole.
Yeah, I think...
that's all my stuff except for the...
I will put something on the wall. I'll bring something for the wall.
That wall's harder to do stuff on, but I'll make it happen.
Over here.
I'll make it happen.
How to do it? What's the
difference? Well, that one's
that
just gyprock. It's easy to do. That's like a thin gyprock and then concrete, and I'm not very good handyman, so...
I'll bring some command strips or something.
What on the
you can't on
phone.
the phone, can you?
I'll tell you how good a handyman I am. Right, this is a real conversation with my wife earlier today, and all of our conversations are recorded because we don't talk, we just text. Right?
Yeah, good.
So Amanda,
you don't talk.
This is a
legitimate.
Here we go.
Is this safe for sharing, mate? Or
yeah, it's 100% because I was driving home from Channel 9. And I got a text. It said, "Do we have a good angle grinder?" My response was, "We don't have a bad angle grinder. We don't have any angle grinder. In fact, I don't even know confidently what an angle grinder is." Okay. That's definitely a question for your dad.
Well, you know what? You got to respect, your limitations.
That's what I was thinking. I thought, you know what, babe, you asked me about a charger, a battery, a phone. Yeah, I gotcha.
That's in your wheelhouse.
I gotcha. Yeah. But you want an angle grinder? Call someone else.
Yeah, I think I'd be slightly more handy than you. Not much, slightly handier than you. But I'd always defer to my son. If I've got a question, I go, mate, how do I do this?
So I'm 100% on the Velcro command strip world with hanging pictures now.
Very good.
Everything in this office is hung by command Velcro.
Yep.
But then in this area with the studio, you've got a problem, right? So I know that when I originally put some stuff on this wall, so it's like gyprock and then a little space and then the concrete, right? Mm-hmm. So what I use at home and on any gyprock are these kind of self-tapping plastic
wall mates
screw things,
wall
and then you screw them in, and then you screw into that, right?
Yep.
So what I do here is I cut them. Huh. So I make a hole. And then I cut the end of the big screw thing off so it's just enough to go into the gyprock and put that in. So it's secured to the gyprock.
It bites in a bit.
It's not going into the concrete. And then I just screw into that. And I think that's enough. So as long as you bring something that's...
Bring a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's not going to be too heavy.
Not too heavy is what I'm asking.
Be right. Even if I just lean it on the box.
No, that's not happening. It's got to be consistent. Really? I've hung that. You've got to bring something not too big because it's got to stay in frame.
What's our policy on nude photos?
You bring it in a mechanic's calendar.
Bring it in.
Imagine
the calendar I used to see at the barber shop. I used to go, when do we go to the barber?
You know, mechanics. You go if you went into at the shop at the front, no dramas. But if you happen to go into the workshop, that was an eye opener for young boys.
Our barber used to
really.
Be, I'll be getting my hair cut. I'll be like this. Get my hair cut. Go like this. Looking up at the calendar.
Yeah, be careful you don't Forrest Gump it.
And I say, can you make it a little bit shorter? It's just so I can stay a little bit longer.
You missed that reference?
Do what?
Careful you don't Forrest Gump it.
Yeah, I get the reference.
Coming up this week, ladies and gentlemen, on Two Blokes Talking. What's it called? The best movies.
Two Blokes Talking. Wrong one. The best movies you've never seen, actually.
Best movies you've never seen. Forrest Gump. This Friday in the movie feed, this Saturday in the Two Blokes Talking Tech feed.
In Trev's defence, it's been a very long day of recording. We've recorded about 75 shows. So what time is it? What day is it? I don't know what day is it.
I have said this week several times to people, what day is it? As I was leaving the car park at Channel 9 today, I said, see you boys, the boys that kind of run the car park there. And he goes, see you tomorrow. And I went, what's tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
And he said something, and I went, no, I think that's Monday. and I said, it's Wednesday today, isn't it? And then we had this whole conversation. I'm thinking, what's going on? What have you been booked for me for tomorrow? Because I'm definitely not in tomorrow. And I was freaking out. And I literally had no idea what day it was.
Okay.
Like this is an anchor point for my week.
Yeah, same.
Because we do this on a Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
Even when I'm in a couple of weeks when I'm doing the radio, we're still going to do it on a Wednesday. It'll just be late because you'll have to
It'll be at midnight. Good luck to you, mate. Yeah. That's all good. We bounce around for each other, mate. Me more for you than you for me. But, you know, that's how it works. You know, that's how it works. But no, all good. I'm not bitter at all about it.
I've told you, mate. Happy to come to you. Not during 2GB weeks, but other times we can find some Fridays and do some movies.
We've mapped it out.
We haven't mapped it out yet. No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have.
You think you've mapped it out? What do you mean? You don't know what days we're doing anything.
Okay.
You've just mapped out some movies.
I do have a plan. Can
you share?
Well,
that's like my wife says I've got a plan, but I haven't told her about it.
I understand.
Which is highly probable. I
understand. I've got to take your added workload into account, but I have got a solution, and I will share it with you after this show.
Oh, this is so exciting! I can't wait for the reveal.
Well, you sort of suggested a couple of times, a couple of other days as well. So,
all right, okay, we'll get it done.
Because we're getting into this Christmas period, mate. It's
I know.
You know, it's what is it? It's that song. It's a most exciting
wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's and my Christmas gift guide kicks off next week. By the way.
Oh, how exciting! The Tech Guide, 12 Days of Christmas, where Stephen churns through all of his reviews.
All the products I couldn't review completely get in the gift guide.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, better than nothing.
I'll be on the Today Show this Friday with Black Friday deals, and I think next Wednesday with 3 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah,
is the plan.
That's scary, isn't it?
And some Christmas
ideas. 4 weeks till Christmas today, then, isn't it?
Yes, on the day of recording, but the day people are listening, probably not.
Day of recording.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing how this genuinely this year has gone so fast. It has gone. Yeah. I don't know why that effect happens like that, but
it's definitely a thing.
Scary.
Has anyone done a PhD into that?
I think it's like that scene in Interstellar, when they're on the planet and time's passing quicker up on the ship than it is.
For some reason, I've seen several times lately the meme or the Instagram post or something that says in whatever his name is, his world.
Yeah,
it's only been 11 minutes since the movie launched. Like since the movie came out, it's only been an hour.
Yeah,
it's like I don't care.
It was how many years ago now? 10?
It's make believe.
Yeah,
it's not real.
But time does go faster. It depends on where you are and how old you are.
Yeah,
I think I reckon your age has a lot to do with it.
All right, time's going real fast.
Speaking of time,
let's do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Not a bad price.
With Trevor Long from EFTM.com.
Really handy device.
And Stephen Fennick from TechGuide.com.au.
I hope I remember to put it in this time. The intro. I'm talking about the intro.
Yeah, last time you got a little bit of hot water. I think I sent you the screenshot.
Yeah.
Of you doing
and I went, I just don't care.
Yeah.
The problem with YouTube is you can replace audio somehow. It's really complicated. You can change the text, but you can't just change the video.
You can. It's a job.
No, you can't re-upload the same video. You got to upload again.
I thought you could.
No, you can't.
You mean start it? You mean not on the same file?
Same link and all that stuff. Right, it's got to be a whole new thing.
Okay,
so.
mate. Just get it right the first time.
Two blokes talking like...
Two Blokes Talking Tech. Hello, Trevor. Welcome.
Episode 661. Thanks to the great people at Netgear and Arlo. Yeah. What's going to happen in 5 weeks? Are we going to be at CS? No.
What's in 5 weeks? 666. What? That's going to be the first CES show.
Will it?
Yeah, well, let's map it out. So
okay. I'm doing it now. You ready?
Today, 661.
So 662, 663, 664, 665 would be Christmas Day. We're skipping that week, aren't we?
Yes.
Are we skipping the week after?
Yes.
So there, 665 will be 0.1, 2, and 3 at CS, I would suggest.
665 at CS.
So our first week back will be...
Because the following week I'm staying, remember?
What date do you get back?
18th of January.
Oh, well, we're going to have a remote show.
Which will be 666.
For 666.
Wow. Would you want to make
scared.
it? We'll make a 665.
We haven't skipped any 13s.
665.
Why would we give a rat's?
No, I don't care.
I don't give a rat's.
I don't care either, mate.
Okay, good.
Who cares?
All right. Thanks to Netgear and Arlo. Great stuff. Now, we covered extensively in the back of a BMW live podcast recording. World first. World first. No one's ever done it before.
Yeah. It's going to be a feature now on BMW cars after we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Podcasting.
I mean, I can't
podcasting.
believe I haven't seen an ad for it yet.
Mobile podcasting.
We covered extensively our views on the social media legislation.
Yes.
Stephen had Joanne Orlando on Tech Guide podcast this week.
Yes.
I had
Great
her and a
chat.
couple other experts on EFTM a while back. And so there's a lot of resources that you can listen to, right? We don't want to cover today the same ground. I get that. You've heard it from us. You know our views, I'm pretty sure. But let's just talk about the timing
process now.
and the process of the legislation at this point. Because as I understand it, at the time of recording, because this will come out after another day of Parliament, the thing is being introduced into Parliament to pass Parliament, and they want to push it through this week because it's the last sitting week of the year. And there was a very quick, Matt Canavan was able to get a 3-hour Senate committee hearing in. Those things normally last days, so it was very quick and smashed together.
Yeah.
There were some recommendations that came out of that. I should find them for you because I do have them. But essentially, the question and concern right now is, why?
What's the hurry?
Why? What's the hurry?
What's the hurry?
Because
That seems to be the
the
consensus.
fundamental underline to that is, if this legislation passes this week, then it's not enacted for 12 months. So what's the hurry?
Yeah.
Why can't we have another sitting week next year where there's time to debate it and discuss it?
I think Anthony Albanese and the Labor Party want to have, I reckon, when they return next year to 20. What's the first sitting week in 25 is not till like February or March or something, is it?
Oh, they don't work very hard, so it can't be much.
So I'd say they want some clear air for the election. The election's going to be, when does the election have to happen? Before May? Is it May, around that time? It could be, or it could be later than that.
Yeah.
So I reckon that they got the runway then into the election. So this has got bipartisan support anyway, which is going to sort of grease the wheels a little bit for it to get through. But the talk this week is, well, if we are going to get this through Parliament, why does it have to be right now? Like, it's almost like we're hurry up. They've got to meet a deadline to get this through. Is it being given enough time for us to really debate it and talk about it and ensure that it can be something that's achievable for a start?
Yeah, and that's the whole problem is there's not enough. So there was a lot of discussion about a social media ban. I get that. The public has had that discussion, and there are polls to show that there is overwhelming public support for that. Yep. I get that. But if you look back at the misinformation bill that the government had, now that was there was a fair bit of discussion about that too, and they've had to give up on that because I think people realise that it was a bit too all-encompassing. Like, misinformation bill for me is like, we want to stop fake news on Facebook. Cool, let's do that. Yeah. But it's very hard to write that in a legislation that doesn't then open up a whole bunch of other potential problems with that legislation.
Mm-hmm. Which I think this is a similar case where it's such a big, wide-ranging move that I think something could get through the cracks here, and it needs more time. It needs more smarter people than us talking about it. Needs a lot more thought rather than it being just, let's try to get it through before Christmas.
Yeah. I think that, look, it may be dated by the time we even get to this publishing this. I get that. But in reality, it needs more conversation because the fact that Joanne, so you said to me, and I haven't listened, but you said to me that Joanne Orlando, when you said, is this going to work?
I said, I'll ask you straight up, will this work? She said, no. Yeah. Is this necessary? No.
Yeah.
And like, she's a digital wellbeing expert who sort of had a lot of experience with, parents and tech and social media and the effects and teens and all that sort of stuff. And her key takeout, and you can hear, I don't want to repeat the whole interview, but you can hear that on the Tech Guide show, but the takeout I got was that social media today is a lot different than it was as 2 years ago. Social media changes all the time.
Yeah, very quickly.
And being able to have one big blanket thing that covers all of that is really hard. But also too is that there's a lot of things that on social media that kids need. They need inclusion and communication and the community, sense of community, and that sort of thing. I think that's being overlooked, frankly. The good aspects of social media are being ignored.
She's very strong on that positive stuff. She's also very strong when I spoke to her about the fact that there's just other platforms. messaging, for example, and
isn't that half the
Matt,
battle?
Matt Canavan in that Senate inquiry, and there's a good TikTok going around about it. He's sitting there going, "Well, hang on a minute, why is Snapchat included? Because it's primarily a messaging app, when WhatsApp isn't."
Yeah,
and I'll tell you right now, I
Yeah.
believe WhatsApp is just as big a danger in terms of bullying and concerns, because
Is it ever?
it's not about just the number of messages someone can send you and abuse you, but it's about excluding you. When you find out, like, this is not social media, it's not teenagers, it's two old blokes, right, with kids. But if you found out that I'd created a group of Australia's tech journos, okay, and we're chatting, and you're not in it, like, that's pretty disheartening.
I'd say, what's going on?
And in a way, let's say we'd had a falling out in any case, it's a form of bullying as well. It's like saying, mate, fine, I'll just create this. And it's indirectly an absolute form of bullying. Now, that happens weekly with kids, teenagers, right?
Of course, yep.
So the same thing can happen on WhatsApp. Now, I don't know how you regulate WhatsApp. And as Matt Canavan said, WhatsApp has channels and content and all that stuff now as well. So there's social media there. So what's the limit? And I think that's the concern, is legislation needs to be open enough to move fast with changes that occur over the next few years. But it needs to be tight enough that it's not so broad that it encompasses too many things.
Everything, yeah.
How do you
just
that?
can't look at a screen if you're under 16.
There's too much politicking and vote grabbing in this. That's the
I
problem.
agree, mate. I think this is a solid vote grab. Look, and their heart's in the right place. They appear to be wanting to protect teenagers, kids
100%.
under 16.
Respect.
That's fantastic. Are they taking the place of a parent in this instance? Some parents may feel that, I'm glad. It saves me having to tell my 15-year-old you can't do that because it's illegal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the feeling I've been getting lately, where the parents are thinking, great, it's one less thing I've got to do, mate.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
been a bit of groundswell of support there. So it's and then suddenly, though, when say that you've got your child is 12 right now, and they're hanging to get onto Instagram, the legislation passes. Sorry, mate, you've got to wait another 3 years.
Well,
right?
I tried to read the legislation, I'll be honest with it, but it just didn't make sense to me. So I don't fully understand what happens to Harry, who will be...
He's already on social media.
He's on social media, and will turn 14, will be 14 when this legislation is implemented.
Right.
What happens?
So
does he lose his account?
He's gone.
Or is it only from that point?
Is there an answer to that? I don't know. Or is it only new people to social media? If you're already there...
Yeah. Now, something we brought up in the back of the car, and I couldn't find the amendment list, but I believe there was a mention of this in the proposed amendments.
Yeah.
I don't believe it'll be passed as an amendment, but it was mentioned that broadly it shouldn't be allowed that these social media companies rely on government-issued identification for the verification, i.e. don't make adults prove who they are to work out who kids are, and therefore putting the onus on the government's age verification trial, which will be a complete waste of time.
Forget that.
If we can assume anything's not going to work, it's an age verification system.
Yeah.
Because, mate, I can't tell the age of 3 kids in Harry's bloody baseball team. Yeah. How is a computer going to work it out?
Yeah, I know. But I think go back, but we were both teenagers. Social media didn't exist.
Yeah.
Back when we were kids, it was, you're not
black and white TV.
You're not allowed to smoke till you're a certain
colour.
age. Yeah, you're not allowed to smoke till a certain age.
Yep.
Couldn't drink till you're 18.
Yep.
There was all those restrictions. So it was the
people
thing,
still smoked, people still drank.
They did, but also, and the other thing too is, don't take drugs, and the drugs were sort of like, they were the big dangers when we were teenagers. There was drugs, underage drinking, smoking.
Yeah, and a bunch of thugs in the playground who bashed people.
Yeah, so real life bullies, right?
Yeah.
So now it's the big dangers. And by the way, smoking still kind of out there, drinking out there,
very much,
and all those other things we talked about, drugs still out there. So there's those dangers that you still got to watch out for. Now, social media has been put in that same bracket of what you're not allowed to look at now. And I don't know, have we become look, and not everyone's the same. And I understand there are some people who react differently to various things, and seeing something affects them. It can affect them, right?
100%. Yep.
So look, I'm not denying that exists, but have we come to a point now where the government has to decide that, no, you can't handle that? You're at an age where you can't handle that. And your parent now doesn't have the say.
Mate,
the government has the say.
25-year-olds that can't handle it.
Exactly right. So and again, so to my next point, when you suddenly turn 16 and go, great, I'm going to get onto social media.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are you ready?
What's going on here?
And that's one of Joanne Orlando's points.
Yeah.
Is you're just deferring.
Who made the age up?
Yeah.
Like, do you need to be, is it a case of, like it's kind of like the ice bath plunge, you're suddenly in social media. Whoa, can I handle it? Or is it a matter of you sort of easing in slowly and getting used to the temperature sort of thing? Which is, that's what, if I was in charge, it'd be more of an on-ramp rather than you're out and then you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, let's make a legislation on the run, right, with the on-ramp philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ban 13-year-olds. You know what? Let's ban
13-year-olds are still...
Yeah, 13-year-olds are allowed.
You're allowed at 13, yeah.
Let's ban 14-year-olds,
So it's that little
right?
3-year gap.
Now, let's allow 15-year-olds in terms of our on-ramp.
Yeah.
Let's allow 15-year-olds to use social media that has a following and content following only, so no algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So you can only see the content of those people of which you follow, and it must be that it's parentally controlled so that, because I as a parent today, and I've said this 100 times, these things exist. I get a notification that says new following or follower activity for Victoria or Jackson or Harrison. So I can see who they followed, who followed them. That's what should happen. But, it's the algorithm. It's this wide open, I can open my phone. My daughter, Victoria, said to me the other day, we were talking about algorithms for some reason. And she said, it's all the rage on TikTok. I said, Bub, I'm on a very different side of TikTok to you. And she goes, your Instagram's a bit different too. And I went, yeah. She goes, you're on death Instagram. And I went, yeah.
Whoa.
'Cause she knows. I've not shown her, but every third video is someone dying in some sort of accident.
Yeah. Isn't it strange how it shifts? I'm in a stage now on TikTok where I'm getting a lot of Pokemon ones. I watch they open the card, they open the packets and do a live, and they sometimes flum a
You
good
watch
card.
one, mate, you're watching them all.
One in, all in, how it works.
So, like for me, and there is talk from government about algorithms being the problem. So why don't we ban, here's my solution to the whole thing, is ban algorithms, algorithmic-based content.
Yeah, good luck.
Ban algorithmic-based content for kids under
people.
16.
Yeah.
So then they can have social media, they can have chat groups, they can post photos, they can show their friends their photos, they can learn what's good and bad about commenting, they can only comment on their friends' stuff and only their friends can comment on their things. Teen rules, but with no algorithm.
Can I share my legislation that I'll introduce? I reckon we need to treat social media like other content. Like movies.
100%.
Imagine, right? You got a 12-year-old and you want to go to the movies. You're not going to go to a movie that's rated R, are you?
Yes.
You won't be allowed.
100%.
I reckon there should be, if you need to give up your age on social media, so there should be content when you when you upload a YouTube clip, right? It'll says, is this for children? So is it? And so YouTube kind of has this, is it for kids? Is it not?
Yes.
So content should have a rating.
Correct.
Do you say, okay, this is adult, this is kids?
I've talked a lot about this, mainly on Triple M overnight because we get into it. We got time, right?
Yeah.
I think it's outrageous that you can load up content on the internet and not see whether it's got violence, sexual content or anything on it.
It just comes
in advance, as you do on television, movies, and Netflix and Stan.
And
all those things have it.
Games have ratings,
So why is it that a kid can open up YouTube and watch content that relates to gambling or content that relates to adult themes?
Yes.
Like you should.
And look, I reckon you put it back on the platforms to do that.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard to say that someone is going to regulate it. So you put it on the onus of the creator. So when EFTM or Tech Guide uploads a piece, as we do now, we say yes or no to kids.
Yes.
We should say tick a box. Is there adult themes? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No.
Violence? No. This? No.
And from there you form this algorithm. And basically from this date before, anything that's uploaded that doesn't have that is rated X because it won't be shown to anyone in recommendations or algorithms. And if you as a creator want that shown, you go back and rate it.
Well, that does exist in a way, right? So you try loading nudity on Facebook or Instagram.
No, mate.
Boom, it'll be down in 20 seconds, right? So they do have
you
the
tried?
capabilities.
You tried?
No, I haven't tried. I might try.
Mate, we've said this. They have the capabilities to stop a piece of audio, piece of video.
and news stories. They've got the power to, at a keystroke, to have this work, right? I can't understand why that wouldn't be rather than Albo saying, look, listen, Mark Zuckerberg, but you're banned. You're banned. We're not going to show you.
Yep.
So too bad. Well, I can't understand why he couldn't get on the phone and say, listen, mate, we've got our concerns here in Australia, and I'm sure other parts of the world too do as well. Why can't you implement a rating system for your content? You could easily, the uploader would have to tick a box.
The uploader's responsible for the rating, and critically, the viewers can adjust it. So the viewers can if viewers overwhelmingly say, no, this is adult content, then the platform should immediately take that content down until the creator makes amends.
It's like
and they go into a little content jail.
Google has a little safe search thing, right? You can say, safe search,
Never
on,
use it.
off, blur. Your kids do though, don't they?
I don't know.
There you go. Well, there's that option. I know it's self-regulated, right? But don't you think that the problem here is that kids seeing inappropriate content, whether it's self-image, violence, sex, whatever, alcohol, drug-related stuff, that's the issue. Yeah. If they don't see that stuff, if they just see their friends' content, nice content that's relatable to their age group, then what's the problem with that?
Remember when we were kids, it wasn't MA, it was AO and PG, right? Like adults only and PG and stuff, right? So come up with a bunch of letters so that when you swipe up on a TikTok, it's just hidden somewhere there. It's hidden somewhere on the screen that it says what it is, right? So that if I'm watching it going, wow, and then I go, wait, it's not, and I could re-rate it. I could say, hang on a minute, that's wrong.
Well, you can report stuff now.
No, but I'm saying under this mechanism, it should be mandatory. And this is the stuff the government can do. They can say it should be mandatory that you have a technology that allows users to report rating issues, and there should be a trigger through which, not because the thing is, bullying online also relates to, like, if someone wanted to, someone could go and report all of our videos as being spam, and they could get if 200 people reported as spam, does it get taken down automatically, even though it's not? Like a hate campaign, it's like a doxing, So you don't want to have it so that it just ruins your life because you upload it. Like if a kid, again, this is the problem we've got to think through. And that's the problem. A kid uploads a piece of content playing Minecraft. It's cool. It's a cool piece of video, and they say it's fun gaming content, right?
G-rated.
But let's say 50 of their schoolmates go, it's adult content, and reports it, and they get taken down. Is there punishment for them having it taken down?
Wouldn't the algorithm?
You got to find that, right?
Wouldn't their technology can detect, just like they can detect nudity in 20 seconds, right? Wouldn't their algorithm see that? Hang on, this is an obvious campaign.
Right now, people find ways around. So I find it weird that people are not allowed to say the term sexual assault on TikTok. People say SA, They abbreviate things to avoid because they think they're going to get banned.
Yeah, right.
Now,
I've heard that too,
I don't know what words TikTok's banning automatically and whatnot, but people,
we know what you're referring to.
People are finding their ways around that. But the bottom line is, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about the stuff that's on the fringe of the rating. I care about the videos of someone dying should not be shown to a teenager, right?
Or some faked up picture of a. How many times have you seen? I've seen this a lot lately on TikTok, ironically, where women giving tips on how to look better than you actually are on TikTok. Cross your legs, do this, suck this in, go lean this way. Have you not seen these?
Not many, but I've seen some. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's the sort of shit that is getting us into trouble.
Well, also, to be honest, and this is going down a rabbit hole, but like a lot of content is purely promoting OnlyFans. So there should be some way of blocking. So I don't want my daughter to know that even exists.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
For all I'm aware, as an ignorant dad, my daughter doesn't know pornography exists, right? So I don't want her to know that there are 20-year-olds, let alone 18-year-olds, who are selling themselves because I don't want that to become aspirational in any way, shape, or form.
Of course, mate.
Because that's the way they sell it. Yeah. There are full service, workers on TikTok saying, I'm just back from a night out, here's how much I earn, and they count their money.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But
that shouldn't be shown to kids either.
Again, that comes down to a rating. If that had a rating, that'd be adult. So you wouldn't be, if you were under 16, you wouldn't see that. again, comes down to classifying the content. And social media is content, just like a movie's content, a game's content, so a song's content. They've got, you know, on an album, say, explicit lyrics.
All right,
So you know going in.
In summary, we're calling for the legislation to be delayed, and we're calling for the Online Safety Amendment Bill to actually look more into the rating of content for individuals online. Yeah. Far more important than anything else.
So, you know, we're in a situation now where there are influencers who do things purely for views.
Mate,
they want to go viral at any
cost.
It's so
bad.
And that, mate, that is a scar on society, mate. I've got to say, it absolutely disgusts me that influencers would do anything to go viral. And there was a story, I think, out of the US where a woman was shoplifting out of Target and showing off the stuff, and she was, and there was another woman who was playing with herself on a plane for her OnlyFans or her audience, because that's what they want. Yeah, like it's just sad to see that that's what society's become. Some parts of society would go to those lengths. There was a story recently about a woman suspected of making her child sick for likes. You know, Munchausen syndrome, right? Like, mate, it absolutely boggles the mind that this is what social media is. This is what we should be talking about. That's what the ban should be aimed at, is this crap that's causing people these disturbances in younger people.
In their defence, that is what they're saying. They're saying 16-year-olds and below shouldn't see that.
I agree.
But going against that, they're going to see it when they're 16.
Okay.
Isn't a 16-year-old girl the most likely to
be affected
fall
by
victim to that?
You know, I think the influencers and the content creators they're getting a free run here, right? So the responsibility isn't on them. They're taking it, you know, they're taking it the other way. Sort of throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? They're thinking, well, no, everything's got to go. So it should be there should be responsibility on content creators' part, influencers on their part, to be responsible about the content they're producing and the effects it has. And you don't reckon that 13 to 16-year-olds fall into their demographic of people that they want as their audience?
They're going to be affected by view counts, that's for sure.
Well, there you go. That's one good result then for them.
Going back to Joanne Orlando's point broadly, when you turn 16, you're just suddenly going to be exposed to all this stuff.
Technically, you're not an adult, actually.
Unless we change what is on the internet and social media, why do we want even a 16 or 17-year-old to be affected by it?
Mate, 16, you still can't buy a beer. 16, can you buy cigarettes if you're 16? I don't know. But you still can't do stuff. You're not an adult, technically, even at 16.
It's such a difficult thing to talk about because you sound like you are diminishing the issues that families have had. But I acknowledge that there are kids who have absolutely gone to the extreme to the point of taking their own lives because of things that have happened outside of the schoolyard, right?
Yeah.
But is social media the thing, or is the fact that they were sent these texts or shown these things or were exposed to that content?
It's a combination of factors. You know, and look, social media plays its part. As does messaging, bullying. We're not denying that there's an issue.
In no way.
Right?
Yeah.
There's issues, absolutely. How we deal with those issues is what we're discussing here. So the ban is, I think, a massive, massive move to ban everything completely. There are smarter ways of doing it.
It's going to...
That would achieve the
Joanne
same
Orlando's
result.
point that it won't work, it's going to backfire on whatever government's in power when it passes because... You know,
There'll be some story of a 16-year-old, something happening to them.
It's 3 elections away before we know, because it takes 12 months to implement, and then it's going to take years, because I'm assuming, you know, the 16-year-olds today are the ones affected. So there's a time period before it actually really has an effect.
Yeah.
It's not going to work straight away, and it's probably not going to work at all. And then we're going to look back on it and go, what did we do that for?
Yeah, exactly right. It's going to be a...
And we're going to have to amend it because social media will change.
Is this going to be a carbon tax moment? Remember when Julie Gillard stood up and goes, there'll be no carbon tax in the government I lead, and boom, there was a carbon tax. And then when there was a carbon tax, they went, not a very good idea. Yeah. And it disappeared.
Well, the misinformation bill is kind of like that as well.
Yeah.
So we had this idea, but maybe let's not do that.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Two Blokes Talking, the same thing again. We appreciate that we've got a lot to say on it.
That was
but
slightly different, though.
it was definitely different. I appreciate you engaging with us, folks, but it's a huge issue right now. Massive issue right now. All right. Get in touch anytime. You know where to find us on social media. Stephen Fennick, Trevor Long.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Yeah, I don't
See
have
that,
mine.
mate?
I don't have one on.
Can you see what that is there? Camera's not on me. I'll just go into your shot.
Okay, there it
There
is.
we
mate.
go.
You happy?
That's the Galaxy Ring, which I'm still wearing.
Yeah. I'm not wearing one. Just realised.
Galaxy Ring.
Preparation's everything, Stephen.
What not preparing is
Preparing to fail.
Failing to
Preparing
prepare
to
is
fail.
preparing to fail. Yeah, I've said that to my kids a few times.
Just talk
But
to
the,
yourself for a minute.
the-
I might quickly see if I can
The
find
Galaxy
mine.
Ring has been out, what, a couple of months now? 2 months?
Yeah, month and a half.
Yeah. And I'm still wearing it. And I primarily wear it just to record my sleep data because I've never been a fan of sleeping in a watch. Have you ever slept in your watch with your watch? No. I don't think so. Yeah, Trevor's like me. He doesn't like sleeping with a watch, especially his big expensive tags, that he doesn't want to bump them in the middle of the night. So, but what Trev did is he went and saw what else was out there. And one of the other products, there's a few others out there. There's the Aura, which has been out a while. That's kind
the
of what a
OURA.
Yeah. Is that about
Aura.
a 500?
It's kind of similarly priced to Samsung, but it has a monthly subscription. So you just
Right.
wouldn't go near it with a 10-foot barge pole, right?
You buy it, but then you got a bill every month.
Right. So we got Samsung Galaxy Ring. That's $700, right?
That's here.
I've got that as well.
Yes.
And the one of the
So you
things
have the silver one. That's
I got
right.
the silver one, and one of the things I said about it was it's kind of a dull silver.
I think the word you said was plasticky.
It's plastic.
It looked a bit plastic.
So I'm googling the Aura. Well, while I was writing my review, I googled the Aura, and because Kogan's smart,
Jeez, you got little fingers, mate.
there's a Kogan Aura.
Isn't that cheeky? Don't you love how
So
Kogan
I
does that?
instantly hit buy. Right, it was like $100, $100. And
Yeah.
so what I did, I ordered the ring for like $100, and then there was a Kogan charging or like an Aura charging case that looked like that.
Is that it? Oh, this is a
No,
Samsung one, yeah?
just let me tell the story. For like $30, so $130. This is what arrived. Samsung Galaxy Smart Tag. So some of your best Kogan.com. So the charging case didn't arrive, but the ring did. Now this is the Kogan Aura ring. Now it's hard for you to see, but that's shiny as hell compared to the Samsung, right? So I wore these two rings, for
Trevor,
I don't
now
know.
call Trevor Lord of the Rings.
2 weeks. I wore them on the same finger. I took this one off.
All right, same finger.
And I wore them
And it
both
worked,
on the
okay?
same
They both
finger.
worked, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky you got little girly fingers, haven't you?
Oh, shut up with you.
Hey, that would have fit on my big fat fingers.
And here's the thing.
Which one's which? That's the
The shiny one is the Kogan, right?
Okay.
But one of the big things that I think really set me off on this was the app for the Kogan
Yeah.
is beautiful.
It's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
a really nice looking app.
And that what are you using on an iPhone?
I'm using it on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Right? So it does heart rate, blood oxygen, sleep, steps, stress. And it's a beautiful app.
Yeah,
It's not
nice.
some
Looks good.
cheapo app, right?
Yep.
Now, I tried to compare exact numbers day by day by day, but they weren't exact in any way, shape, or form, but they were always close. Now, sleep is a really interesting one. Some of them say you wake up at this time and others, but broadly, they were like 10 to 20 minutes close each time. But what I came to realize was that if Samsung says I slept for 6 hours and 23 minutes, how do I verify that anyway? I'm not verifying that.
Yeah.
What you want in this world of health tracking is a trend. Did I sleep more or less?
You want consistency.
Did I sleep more? Did I sleep less? What time did I broadly go to bed? And all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I got consistency. They showed the same level of steps on each day. They showed the same level of sleep
Because
and heart rate.
that being like these sensors are different to those sensors, but the sensor picks up what it picks up, and if it does it the same behavior every day, that's kind of what you want, isn't it?
That's all you want.
You want to be examined.
All you
same
want
way.
is to know, did I do more today than I did yesterday? And more importantly, did I sleep better today than yesterday and why? So you can look at your chart and go, I didn't sleep well on Thursday, Tuesday and Sunday. And then you can say to yourself, oh, but I stayed up late on Saturday night. That was why. So you can
Formula One was on that.
you can work it out for yourself, right? But mate, I got to tell you, for $100,
Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
I don't know why you're not. I can't recommend the Samsung.
Right.
I can't recommend the Samsung.
Yeah, right.
Because for $700, the only thing I could tell you is it has probably a genuinely 6.5, 7 day battery life.
Great, yeah. Good.
This has a 4.5 to 5 day battery life.
Okay, yeah, right.
It's the only negative.
And the charging case is pretty special too on the
Well,
Samsung.
and yeah, this one has a little cable that magnetically attaches.
Okay.
I had no problem with that at all.
Yeah, right.
But I wish I had got the charging case. But Kogan have read the article. They shared the article. No one's contacted me to say we should send you that case.
We still owe you a case.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that they sent me a Samsung Smart Tag. But mate, look,
Maybe there was a bit of irony in that, because you're comparing it to Samsung.
yes, durability wise, will this last two to 5 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it going to scratch up because it's a different material and not
Well,
titanium?
You can buy 7 of those. if
That's
you want.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
mm.
I could buy one of these a year and
you know
be
what?
ahead of the technology.
This conversation sounds like we're sort of comparing a Maserati with a Volkswagen, right? So there are some features on the Samsung and the connectivity to their devices and Android. Doesn't connect to iPhone though.
No.
So in terms of quality of sensor, quality of actual the build quality, would you put the Samsung still ahead of Kogan, or is Kogan up there?
I can't tell you why it's better
Yeah.
other than the battery life.
Really?
By a day and a half.
Okay. So battery life's better.
That's it
Yeah.
on the Samsung.
Yeah. Right.
I don't, but I'm sure that if we did a, fully wired up test of my sleep and my steps and all that kind of stuff,
I'd
we
like
would
to see that.
we would find out that the Samsung has a better quality sensor. I've got no doubt that's why
Yep.
it's $700. But the fact that a $100 product exists in the market for all phones
Yeah.
is mad to me. Why on earth didn't Samsung go, let's make it work on all devices and let's not make it $700?
And to be clear, it's not just expensive in Australia. So $699 is Samsung's price here. I think it's $399 US.
$349, $399,
Yeah.
something like that.
So,
yeah.
but didn't we comment at the time that we got a bit of a kick up the bum
I
with
think
the price?
we did, yeah, a little.
Where we got it's slightly more. If you just did the conversion, it'd be like $100 cheaper.
Something like that.
Yeah. So do you reckon Samsung would it be sort of admitting defeat if they discounted it at all? Or?
Well, they can't now, can they?
Yeah.
I think Samsung looked at it and went, well, we're competing with the Aura
Yeah.
and we're going to smash them out of the park. And they did.
Well, the upside of the Samsung is that
No
yes, they're competing
subscription.
against Aura, and that's right. No, you don't spend it $1 extra. You got zero subscription.
And look, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful case.
it's a great
very
case.
well
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
it's
I
all
like it.
engineered.
Yeah, one of
It's
the best
lovely.
features, I reckon, is the
It
case.
is. It's
great.
one of the great.
It's become my little fidget toy. I like opening it and closing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
and
beautiful.
putting the ring in it.
But
Yeah,
this is $100.
yeah.
That's a really
Yeah.
tough thing to say. And look, I've said this. What a stocking filler,
Yeah, right.
right? Because
Give me a little box.
people say but they've already got everything. They don't have a smart ring. I'll tell you that right now. Guarantee it.
Well,
Like,
if you've got a smart
it's
watch,
a 99% chance you don't have a smart ring.
when I reviewed the Galaxy Ring, my advice was if you got a smartwatch, don't bother. But if you do have a smartwatch but don't like sleeping with it, if it's sleep is what you get is the best. What I find is the thing I use it for most.
Yes.
Then go get one. But
I mean, I don't know why you wanted to open that, but yeah, that's it.
I just want to just see the package.
It's a thing called a Q. Look, you got to remember, Kogan just rebrand stuff. It's a Q Ring is what it's called.
Yeah, right.
The app is called Q Ring, and they just rebrand it. I mean, but it's $100.
Yeah.
It's $100.
Do the instructions have is it branded Kogan as well? Or?
Yeah. The Kogan's very smart. That's how Ruslan started. He started buying TVs and writing the English manuals for the factories without poor English.
Yeah, right.
So that was his deal.
I loved reading those manuals. The Chinglish
ones,
funny.
yeah. So his pitch to them was, I can't buy a container's worth. I'll buy 20 of them, but I'll rewrite the manual for you, and then you can use that everywhere else in the world, and so they would benefit from that.
Yeah, right.
Which was smart.
Interesting.
So the Aura, AURA smart ring comes in black, a goldish
The Ring
bronze,
Wars, eh? The
and,
Ring Wars.
and a
Lord
like
of the Rings.
proper chromey silver.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
mate, that looks like a real ring.
Yeah, right. Where's the other one? It's not. It's a little bit duller, isn't it? Dull.
Yeah, it's a matte satin. It's a satin finish.
Yeah.
And neither of them feel
Which is heavier? Is one heavier
more
than the
heft
other?
than the other. I think the Kogan maybe feels a gram heavier. It wouldn't be much though, mate.
Yeah, they're so light.
There's not much in it.
Yeah.
So, mate, I
Maybe-
was very impressed.
Maybe you can wear them as earrings.
Okay, you weirdo. Look,
Why haven't they got a smart earring?
Okay, you're being very weird now. I just thought it was really fascinating to say that there's such a product out there that is not.
Well, you know
I
what?
genuinely bought it thinking I was going to go, it's rubbish. Definitely buy this.
No, you know what? I like writing about stuff that's affordable. I
Same.
like it.
Big fan.
And I think recently one of the recent things I did was the Belkin, the SoundForm
Yes.
earphones. They're all
Yeah.
nothing over at $90.
Brilliant.
And they look good, sound good. You know, what more do you need?
What more do you need?
Unless you want, of course, active noise cancellation and stuff like that. But it's interesting that there are alternatives out there, and in this case, it's a pretty compelling one where it's $900, and it works with iPhone. So the Galaxy only works with Samsung phones and Android
Big
phones,
selling factor.
but no iPhone.
Check it out.
I reckon Samsung should have said, Apple, get this in here. We're going to make it compatible with the iPhone.
I think that would at least give them some potential to sell more of their product.
Well, you don't reckon that an iPhone user would have thought about it?
Absolutely.
And I don't know what the politics would have been, whether Apple would have allowed their app.
Why wouldn't they? They can't not allow it.
Is the Samsung Health app on the on the App Store? It
Yes.
is too. Yeah. So that would have worked. Oh, why block out?
It doesn't do
all
half
those
the things
customers.
it should, but yeah. Two Blokes Talking Tech, episode 661. Let us know what you think. You can read that review of the Kogan Aura, AURA, at EFTM.com.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech is proudly supported by Arlo, and I want to talk floodlights. I'm really liking the wired floodlight.
Oh, yeah.
Which is only $249. I was surprised at how affordable this was. Now, when we say wired, that means wired for power. They're still wirelessly connecting to your network, but in terms of power, wire, no battery, don't ever have to charge it. It's a 24/7 product. And what I like about it too, designs change a little bit where there are two articulated lights, so which means you can aim the light where you want, as well as the camera. So imagine this, you got a floodlight. A lot of people have the movement-sensitive lights. So imagine if that move-sensitive light not only provides a light, but also a camera. So if you've got one of those in your home already wired up, this could very well take the place, and then suddenly you've got a smart setup there that can detect all the movement, shoots 2K HDR video, 160-degree field of view, which covers a lot of ground, two-way audio as well, and of course, you can also sign up to the Arlo Secure Plan, which allows you then to see up to 30 days of your stored videos and also get all those smart notifications for people, vehicles, animals, packages. All of those things are included as well. I think this is a compelling product, this one. $249 for the Arlo wired floodlight. Check it out at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Now, we'd have to find the date, Stephen, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 years ago that we went to Melbourne to some very dark, like a dive bar. It was a weird joint, wasn't it?
It was in Melbourne. I do remember.
It was definitely Melbourne.
Yeah.
It was the announcement of a partnership between Oppo and JB Hi-Fi,
Shall I
right?
look it up?
I'm going to look up Oppo Melbourne in my emails. And so we're talking about what year here is 10 years ago, 2014, right?
Yep.
It may be that was in 2015 because Oppo is celebrating 10 years in Australia, which honestly,
wow,
for a brand that, launched themselves here, that's huge. That's a massive thing for them to achieve because they have stuck at it.
Found it.
They've done, what have we found? Photos.
It was 2016.
It was 2016. So it was 2 years after they launched here that they got the partnership with JB Hi-Fi, which is huge.
That was it. Yeah,
and they're still in JB Hi-Fi now, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Haven't changed a bit, mate. Look at this. Have not changed a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Show that to the camera. Go sideways. There we go. He's going to zoom in and everything. Okay, I'll go on you. Whoa, look at that.
Have not changed a bit. Look at that.
I would argue we might have changed just
I looked
a little.
exactly the same.
Okay.
I don't know.
What month in 2016 was that?
April. 27th of April, 2016 at 8:22 p.m.
Yeah, I've just got the pickup address for a private car. Must have got a pickup and everything. How good is this? Wow. Think they were doing very well. Wow. It's still
Does that match up with you?
Still got the same PR representation.
Of course.
As back then too.
Does that matches up with you, 27th of April?
It definitely does.
There we go.
Earlier in that same year, I went to... Did I go to China? What the hell? That doesn't make sense. I don't think I went. I can't imagine I went. I got invited to go. But anyway, looking through my emails. That's just mad.
That's great podcasting.
Anyway, they're back. They're doing great things. And they are back because they have announced their latest X Series Find X8
Find X8
Pro
Pro
is coming to Australia. Now, they haven't had their flagship phones in Australia for a couple of
2 years. I think it's been, yeah.
So this is a flagship. It's a $17.99 phone.
Yeah, so this is up there with your iPhones and Samsungs here, your Galaxy phones. This is it has the color iOS 15 as well, and that includes, of course, Oppo AI features, which
And
no brainer here.
5,910 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah, that's days long battery.
That's the biggest battery I've seen on a smartphone.
and it's pretty thin
And it
light
does
too.
that 80-watt Super VOOC
Super Flick.
charging as well.
Mate, I don't know what sort of witchcraft that is, but it really works really well, doesn't it?
It does. It's
Yeah,
very
That is
good.
awesome how well that does. It has a 6.78 infinite view display. It's got a quad curved glass front, so it's sort of like edge to edge. 120 hertz refresh rate as well. And peak brightness of 4,500, HDR content peak brightness of 4,500 nits, which means you can watch stuff during the day outside. But here's where it sort of is in a field of its own.
Yeah.
Is the camera.
Yeah.
Now the camera, they've always had this relationship with Hasselblad.
Hasselblad,
Remember
yeah.
Hasselblad. And what they've done here, they've got a 50 megapixel quad camera. It's 50 megapixel, and they've got two other 50 megapixel Sony sensor, and they've also got for the very first time, two periscope cameras.
Right.
So they can get the gapless zoom, they call it, so up to 60x magnification. So that's the telescope zoom. I think that's combined digital zoom there too. But first time,
I think it's a 6x optical.
Yeah.
Which is still wild.
It's pretty good, isn't it? And that's a first. Not even Apple or Samsung have that. Oppo have always been pretty advanced
because they quite like
in
a
their cameras.
135 mil periscope. Like that's a wild zoom.
That's crazy.
And yeah, AI is a big component of it. Some of the AI features in the camera, for example, AI eraser, AI clarity, AI unblur, AI reflection remover, things that we've heard of from other companies without question. And it's all based in one AI studio. And there's a bunch of alt writing tools,
AI
summaries, all
AI
that stuff
speak,
as well.
AI reply, AI writer, AI,
which is
et cetera.
important because if you want to play with the big boys,
You got to
which
have
Oppo
the AI.
do.
Yeah.
You can't not have those writing assistants and things like that because that's what Samsung's going to be selling. That's what Apple's going to be selling you.
There's a
You've
feature
got to be in
here
that
and a
space.
photo as well that you made. It looks a lot like the old Apple AirTag motion. It looks a lot like sharing
the
photos
tap
and content.
to share,
Yeah, very much like that.
Look, it's a great looking phone. Space black and pearl white at
Yeah.
JB Hi-Fi and Oppo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this one into for review. I didn't make the trip to Bali for the launch.
No, I was busy in Dallas.
We were otherwise occupied. But 16 gig of RAM, 512 gig storage.
Should get the
Pretty
two
generous.
blokes back to Bali. Remember that?
That was with Huawei.
With Huawei
Yeah.
for the first dual lens
camera phone. Yeah, that was a while. How long ago was that?
Long time. I'll let you check your records, but
Yeah.
a lot of
Mate, check your emails. You'll be
a
able
lot
to
of
see
time
your
in the
emails.
pool there,
Yeah, ordering food. and
ordering
stuff
food
is great.
poolside, playing
Yeah,
stupid
good
games.
times. Good times.
That's some weird stuff.
Good times.
That was the first time I
Huawei,
learned
eh?
about the game. Never have I ever.
Yeah, that was interesting. My earphones just popped out. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
My
You can
earphones
read.
Popped out.
Oh, well, I'll take it from here, Stephen. You can read all about the Oppo Find X8 Pro at EFTM.com and techguide.com.au. And if you join our social media channels, I'm sure there'll be photos from their 10-year anniversary celebrations this week
coming up.
on our Instagram channels and all the like. But Oppo, congratulations on the Find X8 Pro. Glad to have a flagship back here in Australia.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Righto, there has been some movement in the old portable microphones.
We had ring wars. Now we got
had
mic
ring
wars.
wars, and now we got the little
Oh,
wireless.
you're in
microphones.
reach.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
look at that. We can be visual.
So there we go.
Got the whole box, mate.
This is the whole.
That's the DJI,
So DJI Mike Mini.
Mike Mini. Yeah.
Mike Mini.
Yep.
Imagine if your name was Mike and your surname was Mini. Mike Mini. G'day, Mike.
How's it doing, Mike?
Oh, hi, Mini.
And it's fascinating because it comes just weeks after Rode announced the wireless micro. So
Look how small that is.
that's and you know comparatively,
DJI.
let's be real.
So what's that one?
They've smashed Rode out of the park with the size of the actual microphone.
Rode. This is Rode.
But
This is a DJI.
the receiver, this is the receiver for the Rode, which is tiny, just pops in the bottom of your phone.
And the receiver for the DJI.
It's over there. It's behind the other one.
that's the other
I don't
one.
know
That's
if you
the
can
big one.
reach it. Yeah.
Got it.
It's slightly larger, But I got to tell you, I'm giving the win 100% to DJI here
me
because
too,
of this little dial.
Yeah, the game.
The ability to adjust the gain is wild, awesome, and I love it
you
greatly.
know what? The DJI, for me anyway, it just worked.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Oh, there was a bit of adjusting with the Rode.
Oh, was it?
To
I
get it
didn't
to
have
work
that.
for me. Yeah.
No, I didn't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
But both.
Check it
So
out.
this is now kind of the I guess the instant, portable, usable. So there's no professional stuff here. There's no plug for a lapel to
You
be
can't
used.
put a lapel in there because it kind of is.
There's
It's
no.
almost as small as a lapel mic anyway.
There's no onboard recording, which is a big feature of some of them.
There you go.
But I love that you just go straight into the phone. That's brilliant.
Straight up the USB-C.
JBL have one called the Quantum something. It's like $160. I tested that at CES and have used it since. It's great.
Yeah, Sennheiser have also released a kit as well.
Now, let's be
similar.
real. Rode and DJI are probably leading the pack in terms of mic quality
they're
right
running
now.
the table right now, aren't they?
And again, price-wise, so the Rode, we're talking up to $259 at JB Hi-Fi, but I've seen it at $209 in places. This is $245 with the USB-C, $285 with the Lightning, and you can buy just the transmitter and receiver for like $145.
It's $125 for the
$125.
single receiver, single transmitter.
Like, which is
just
that?
one.
Which is
one
just
of
these,
those.
right? So
Yep.
it's just this. This is all you get.
So this pack here with the two is $245. So that includes two receivers, two transmitters, and one transmitter. We mean the
And I
mics.
appreciate that the magnet for the microphone now has a side with no DJI logo on it because I hate wearing these
free advertising
with a
for it.
free ad for the. You know,
But it's
that's
kind
just-
of on it anyway, isn't it? Although you can wear it inside your shirt. Is that what you're saying?
No, but the whole point of the
Trevor
magnet.
does nothing for nothing.
The whole point of the magnet is to wear it like that, so you can't see the microphone.
Yeah, right. But you still see
Yeah.
the magnet though, eh?
Yes, but this has a magnet with no name on it.
Okay.
Yeah, the other side has the name on it.
Understand. And you know what surprised me about the DJI, the Mic Mini? It has a 400-meter range.
You'll need to be line of sight. Let's be
but
honest.
still, that's pretty impressive for
Oh,
something
no,
so
very
small.
impressive. Yeah.
And I got to say, it was really noticeable. The audio quality is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I
used it.
Audio straight out of your phone can be a little bit echoey and depends on the room you're in.
Before
With
the
mic,
embargo,
very
I
nice.
used it on television. So it was discreet. It was in my jacket.
Oh, didn't break the embargo, did you?
And I knew that the control room would tell me if the mic was bad because they're pretty good like that.
Yeah, right.
No
Not a
drama.
problem,
Out of the
See,
box.
on
instant.
TV, yeah.
So good.
Well, didn't I use it on TV? No, that was a different one.
There was the,
It was the other one,
standard
the mic two.
Mic 2, yeah.
Right.
So, mate, I think for
That's a cracker.
$245, it's DJI for me.
You
and I'm a
can also
massive fan
you can
of
also
Rode.
buy
like, let's be honest.
just the mic by itself, you know.
And to be Bluetooth
Yeah.
to your Osmo
So
or
it's
to your
got
drone.
it's like $69.
Yeah.
And you can buy the charging case on its own as well for $89.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you. The mic on its own as a Bluetooth mic,
No good.
no good.
Right.
They're not. The quality's clearly different.
Yeah, right.
The quality's clearly different.
So you need the transmitter. And by the way, the transmitter it doesn't just work with smartphones. It can work with a computer, with a
Yes,
camera.
we tried that earlier for some
Comes with
reason
a
it didn't
cable.
work, but yes.
Yeah. Comes with a cable to connect it to your camera as well.
Yeah.
So camera, smartphone, tablet, computer, boom.
Put the mic back in there so I don't lose it, will you?
Sure, mate.
Mic Wars, Ring Wars. We've got it all covered
Mic
here on
Wars.
Two Blokes Talking Tech this week. Have a look at the photos and pricing of the DJI
That's the
Mic
case.
Mini at techguide.com.au and EFTM.com.
That's the Mic 2.
Mic 2,
Mic
which
2.
has travelled the world, got a
Mic
got a
Mini.
beating, but
Yeah,
so goes
geez,
life.
What do you do? Play soccer with that, do you?
Oh, no, it's just...
That's the difference. Mic Mini,
travel.
Mic 2. Yeah, DJI.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
And we do it all thanks to the great people at Netgear. Netgear.com.au. If you need home Wi-Fi, you need Netgear. They've got a solution for every home, for every need, for every solution. If you are a small home, couple of people, but you need better Wi-Fi across the home, the basic entry-level Orbeez will cover you off. If you have a lot of Internet of Things devices, lots of people in the home, you're streaming 4K, 8K, whatever you're doing, then there's a high-end Orbi for you. If you're gaming, the Nighthawk range is an absolute winner. You can do quality of service, dictate that your computer gets first dibs on the internet. They've got everything.
That's what I do.
They've got wireless products. They've got mobile products. They've got you covered. If you need networking in your home, which is an underpinning of your home, just like plumbing, Netgear's got you covered. Netgear.com.au for all their products, including the great range of Orbi. And check out a bunch of Black Friday sales if you're listening in Black Friday week and leading up to Christmas. Always a good time to get a great deal on tech. Netgear.com.au.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right, just to wrap up here, I want to talk about Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho.
Santa.
So Telstra announced...
What's the go with your network here, mate?
I don't know.
You are not connected to the internet.
That's
What
not
have you?
my
Have you
problem.
put me on
I
a
just
limit or
kicked
something?
you off,
Did
yep.
you blacklist me?
Just blacklisted you, you're off. Telstra
not
announced
very
last
nice.
week that they've brought back their Santa Payphone initiative, which is awesome.
Yep.
They do it regularly. And basically, at
Direct to
Payphones,
Santa.
you can dial hashtag 464646, which is hashtag ho, 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 which is pretty cool, right?
For free?
Yeah, for free. Payphones are free.
Can adults use it too?
Yes, anyone can use
I
it.
want to talk to Santa too.
You weirdo.
What's wrong with that? So imagine he goes, "G'day." I'll go, "G'day, mate." He goes, "What would you like for Christmas, Sonny?" I'll go, "Oh, I want some more Star Wars stuff." And
I'd like some Lego, please, Santa.
I'd like some more Star Wars Lego.
My address is the same as my dad, Trevor.
Well, I've been a good boy this year. I'm on the good boy list.
Anyway,
Why are we talking like that?
look, it's cool. I like that. But there's a whole other meaning to this that I've found quite powerful. So you take your kids, and by the way, if you're in Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane at the main Telstra Discovery store, they've made a little mini phone.
We've got a
booth that
mini
you can take your
phone
kids to.
that's described on EFTM as cute as heck.
It's cute. It's pretty cute. Right?
Cute as heck.
But
I
here's the
love
thing.
how you write how you talk. That's great.
I think
That's how you write.
important.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good. It's you. It's Trevor. You're talking to Trevor there.
I appreciate the feedback on my writing style, to be honest. I really do. But here's the thing. So you take your kids, let's say they're 6, 7, 8, whatever they are. You take them to a payphone and you have this fun. You call Santa. It's good. But at the same time, you say to them, guys, you can take them on a trip down memory lane and you tell them how you used to use a payphone to ring your mum to get her to pick you up at the station by putting no money in and they just ring twice and you'd hang up and she'd know that it was
Yes.
time to come pick you up, right? You tell your kids that back in the day we had a thing called a telecard, which was like a 25-digit number. It was probably only 16 that you dialed, and then you dialed a PIN code, and then you could dial a number you wanted to dial, and it would build your home phone. Range of things that used to happen in payphones. But today, what you do is you tell your kids this phone is here. So, for example, there's one here up at Pennant Hills near us, right? Now that's near the bus stop. It's within walking distance of the school. There's a bunch of things about that phone that are critical. So I can say to my kids, look, your phone goes flat. Your phone runs out of data or charge or it's stolen, you feel in any threat or danger, go to the payphone and ring me. You know my number. And that's when you start teaching your kids your number. So you teach your kids to memorize your phone number and you teach your kids that they can go to any payphone in Australia and ring you for free.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing. It really is.
The payphones still have a place, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Even if it's not Christmas.
There's 14,000 of them and 4,000
And
of
they
them
also
operate the
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
hotspots,
4,000
yeah.
of them do the Wi-Fi.
Hotspots, yeah.
And they're all free. I think there's a couple of million calls made every year on payphones, and 300,000 of those calls are made to emergency services, 000 calls.
Yeah, right. Especially like in disaster areas and stuff where these phones are still their only mode of communication.
And every payphone is a unique number too. So if your child rings you,
So
you can ring them back.
You can answer a phone, a payphone.
Yep.
I've always wanted to do that. In the movies, you see that. I always wanted
Yeah,
to do
what was that movie we did? The payphone? It's the whole thing.
Phone booth.
Phone booth. Oh,
Yeah.
obviously.
Colin Farrell.
It was an okay movie.
It's a great movie, I thought.
I know who done it.
Yeah.
I forget, but it was the person up in the window. I can't. What? Who did it? I forget.
It was Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, it was like a...
He was the voice, remember? And then
Yep.
we saw him at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the movie very well, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a short, sharp one, that one.
Let's do more
Colin
of those.
Farrell. Yeah.
Anyway, take your kids to a payphone, teach them what a payphone is, and then reminisce with your...
Yeah.
Have some people around for dinner and then talk about how cool it was when payphones were the way you communicated.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how...
And we
You show
spent
your
25,
kids, what's
probably
that?
40 minutes talking about social media. It's kind of fun to tell your kids how it was
Yeah.
when we didn't have all that. We didn't have
That's right.
phones.
We actually went outside and did stuff.
And we
Kicked footies around
and we,
stuff.
we couldn't ring our mum. We just had to come home before dark.
You know what? I've got to say that in our day when we went out,
Whoa.
when we went
your
out,
day?
in my day, I'm not
Ah.
that much older than you, mate. When we went out, Trevor never went out till he was like 25. When we went
I
out,
still don't go out. What are you talking about?
When I went out with my mates, once you're out the door, it was it. You were free. There was no way they could contact you.
Yeah.
Whereas today, your kids go out, you got their phone number. Where are you? What time are we then coming home? So that's kind of a bit more of the ball and chain.
There's also
happening
predators out there now, so it's good to
there.
know where they
mate.
are and how you
Of
can call
course,
them.
But I'm just saying, back when I was a kid, you were out. There's no way you could be contacted. You were. I'm out. I'm gone. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
now.
if I went to visit
When
Thomas,
your kids get old enough to go out and do stuff like that, mate, you'll be doing that.
if I rode my bike out to Lake Wang into Ian's place and we were mucking around with go-karts and I didn't come home for dinner, Mum would just assume that I was having dinner there.
Right.
Oh,
Just assume.
Yeah.
She wouldn't assume you're dead. She'd
No.
just think if you were.
she'd just assume I
not
was
in a
staying there for
ditch,
dinner.
had a crash and then you lay in the ditch.
Yeah.
You're just having dinner there.
Now, did Ian's mum Eunice call my mum and
I
they
reckon
talked?
She did, yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I reckon so.
Like, I don't think Harry realises how much his mates' mums and his mum communicate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to break to you, mate. They're talking all the time.
He's in a little bubble, mate. Let him be.
Yeah, bring it on.
He's in a bubble.
As it should be.
Good on him.
Live your life in a bubble.
You're in a bubble. That's great. Maybe that's the solution for the social media. Create a bubble for people. Make a bubble.
Well, if we're making
lives in a
we should
bubble.
make a New Year's resolution to actually commit to the thing we've talked about for so long, which
What's
is like
that?
a road trip / broadcast
I'm up
/
for it, mate.
something
I'm
or
up for
other.
it, mate. You're the one who's too busy.
We should
doing
challenge
stuff.
ourselves to do it without like
Oh,
a phone.
speak
Like,
for yourself, mate.
oh, yeah.
Really? You don't want to? You want to travel without a phone? Really?
I don't know.
I don't. I wouldn't not be endorsing that. I thought it'd be like we could use it as a EV. It'll be content for the EV podcast,
it's
for
definitely
tech,
EV.
for everything. It will be an EV, so we can create content for all of our podcasts.
Yeah, I think we record in the back of a car with a PowerPoint so we can power everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think we have. Well, once we get CES out the way and other things, we can map out a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for
Is that
listening,
enough,
folks.
mate? Is that enough for us today? Or?
Oh, you're looking for a wrap up?
No,
I am.
mate,
I'm wrapping it up. I'm
still-
calling it. That's
I'm
it.
still going, mate.
We're done.
Okay, I'm still happy to chat.
No, I got nothing.
If you're not,
Mate,
all
save
right.
your chat. Tomorrow night, private feed.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or
I got
if
some.
you're,
I got
if
some
you're
stuff to
watching
talk
on
about.
YouTube,
Yep.
the link is below
Yeah,
to
come
the
on,
private
what's
feed.
wrong with you?
And we know you're not
click
watching
the
it.
link. Click the
Numbers
link.
are low.
It's free, and it's only half an hour.
You get to see Stephen say,
No, you say more than I do. I've had feedback, and I won't tell you who told me this.
yeah, go on, tell me, go on. Just-
Trevor, he swears for the sake of it on the
who
private
said it?
feed.
Who
I'm
said
not going
it?
to tell you.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I
I'm
can't-
not going to.
To be honest, I
can't
can't
remember.
I can't remember now. But someone said it. But yeah, jokingly, they said, "Oh, we don't care." But he just likes to let loose because he can.
Well, yeah, you
That's
don't
fair.
like. You got to remember, we are hamstrung. You know, we're restricted in everyday life. We on the radio, on TV, and on these shows, we can't say
That's
those
the
things.
one thing we can say.
So it's pretty good to be able to hit stop on this, hit record on the private, and just go, holy.
What the?
Yeah. Anyway, see you next week, mate.
See you, buddy.
Bye bye.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.